All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to Site Plan 5 of the AI Governance Learning Pathway, which is all about building expertise that scales nationally and globally. In our final Site Plan Explainer here, we are looking straight to the future, tackling a massive challenge for growing organizations. How exactly do you expand your impact without losing control of your governance?
Our core mission has always been moving from confusion to governed action. As a California nonprofit, we're completely dedicated to building a practical, community-focused pathway to help nonprofits, legal aid organizations, and clinics achieve this exact mission. Because it's not just about memorizing the rules, right? It's about making them actually work for you on the ground, day in and day out.
Now, our program is rooted in California's notoriously strict regulations, but that brings up a really big question. How do you scale those strict regulations nationally or globally? We have to address the friction of taking your localized expertise across borders. I mean, nobody wants to start from scratch and rebuild their entire compliance system every single time they cross a state line. Well, the solution is what we call the portability ladder. This brilliantly illustrates how your California-grounded habits can transfer seamlessly. It's a modular, building block approach. Step 1 is establishing that core framework foundation. Step 2 is adding jurisdictional overlays, which are really just your local laws. And step 3, you simply swap out those overlays to scale. It really is that elegant. So let's look at the very base of this ladder. This is your core framework. Typically, we rely on the absolute gold standards here, like NIST or the international benchmark, ISO 42001. Think of this as the bedrock, where your unshakable core governance habits live. By cementing this base, you ensure that no matter where you expand, your fundamental governance habits remain exactly the same. Your baseline of safety and ethics, it doesn't budge. Moving up the ladder, what's really interesting is this concept of a jurisdictional overlay. Instead of tearing up your entire playbook when a new law passes, you just treat local laws as modular adjustments. They sit neatly right on top of your core framework. Honestly, it turns a massive compliance headache into a simple administrative update. For those of you who have built your foundation with us, these next rungs are your California-specific overlays. We're talking about incredibly strict regulations like AB 3030 for healthcare AI or the CPRA, the California Privacy Rights Act. Think of these like customized lenses. You plug these highly specific requirements directly into your existing framework without disrupting the stable base of your ladder. So, the crucial point here is that because California has some of the highest standards in the entire world, mastering this specific stack gives you an incredible advantage. When you compare a California operation to a global one, adapting to other states or countries becomes highly manageable. Why? Because you've already trained for the hardest marathon. Going global is really just a matter of adjusting the dial. The ultimate takeaway for scaling your operations is this: swap the overlay, keep the core. When you move to a new region, scaling simply means swapping out that specific local overlay, leaving the hard part, your core governance habits, completely intact and ready for action. You don't rebuild the car, you just change the tires for a different terrain. So, ready to plan your long-term growth? Your immediate next step is to download the Scaling Roadmap template. You'll use this to actively map out exactly how you're going to take your localized expertise and prepare it for national or global application. Once you've got that mapped out, you'll be perfectly positioned to proceed to the next explainer in our learning playlist. Thanks for joining us for this cornerstone module. Be sure to check the description below this explainer to download today's practical output, that scaling roadmap template we just discussed. Go ahead and grab that so we can continue building your rock-solid AI governance foundation together. Let me leave you with one final thought as we wrap up. With your core habits totally secured and your framework locked in, which new jurisdiction will your organization empower next? As you prepare to swap out your first overlay, ask yourself, where will you take this robust foundation to expand your community impact? The map is completely wide open. Keep building, keep scaling, and we'll see you in the next explainer.